Hey guys, the Explorer 4 here, the Horror Boy. Welcome back to some more reviews, and welcome to my review on the second Fly movie, Return of the Fly. Now, Return of the Fly, very fast production, came out the following year, in 1959. Gets a 5.8 on IMDb, directed by Edward Burns. And Return of the Fly, I think, is definitely still a pretty fun movie. I do enjoy this movie. I think it's pretty good. I wouldn't say I like it as much as the first movie, though. And I think they did the best they could with this movie. But I think it's just one of those things where it was really hard to make a sequel to The Fly. Because, I mean, with the way that movie ended and the kind of story it had, how do you follow up that movie and have another Fly mutant? And a Return of the Fly and stuff like that. Like, how do you do that in this movie? And while I feel like they did the best they could, I don't think it was as good as the first movie, but I still think it's a pretty good movie. Return of the Fly, I still think it's a pretty good movie. The story basically follows the son, who I believe is Felipe. He's the son from the first movie, the character grown up in this movie. I'm not sure it's like 10 years later, 15 years later, I'm not sure. But he's grown up in this movie, and basically, his mother has died. He was the son of the scientist in the first movie. And Vincent Price, who's still in this movie, does a great job in this movie, is talking to him, and Felipe wants to carry on his father's work. And Vincent Price is really against this, doesn't want him doing it. So Felipe builds his own laboratory in his own house and begins experimenting. And when he does this, he also meets this guy who becomes his partner in making this machine. And basically, you find out this guy, he's a villain. He's, going to steal this information and try to sell it, trying to profit off this machine, going to use it for bad deeds. And him and this coroner are kind of working together to try to steal this information. And Felipe finds out about this, confronts him, and he knocks out Felipe, puts him in this machine, and knows that this character doesn't like flies. So he gets a fly, puts it in there, sends it up to this kind of void area, kind of in between being teleported. And, of course, Vincent Price gets shot, goes into the house, ends up finishing the process so that when he gets teleported, he's half man, half fly once again, like his father. And basically, it's a revenge movie. He's half man, half fly. There's the same thing as the original, where there's a little fly over here with a head on it, human head on it. It goes like, "Help me, help me," and it becomes, like I said, a redemption movie. He goes after the guys who did this to them, kills them, and the police are after him, trying to find him. Vincent Price is trying to look for him. They ended up finding him, bringing him back to the lab, and basically reversing the process. And successfully, he becomes a human again. And the fly and the human split, and it goes back to normal. So in a way, it's probably the Fly movie, the one Fly movie, where the ending is really good, really positive ending. Besides, really, I would say this one, which we'll get to this one in a second. This one also has a really good ending. Like the lead character, she makes out alive and escapes. But we'll get to this one in a second. This is a very unique movie right here. But yeah, so the ending is definitely a good ending. It's not downbeat, it's not depressing. And I guess I can get into the positives first. Positives, I do think it's well shot. It's actually very curious because I've never seen a franchise before where it starts out in color and the sequels are done in black and white. I'm not sure if it's because there was a lower budget to these movies or not. I'm not sure if it's because of the lower budget, it cost less to make it in black and white. Or if it was done on purpose. I don't know, like, why the sequels are done in black and white, but I don't really mind. I think it's a cool. I've always loved old school black and white movies, but very curious. I've never seen that in a series before. It always usually starts out in black and white and then it becomes colored movies. But I don't know. Very curious. But the movie is still well shot. It is still well directed. It is still pretty well acted. Vincent Price does a great job in this movie. I do think the music is still really good in this film. I think it's shot pretty well. The effects, which I forgot to mention in my review for the first Fly movie, the effects were pretty good. Once again, the effects are pretty good in this movie as well. You know, the fly head, which looks a little bit more bigger in this movie. But the design of that and the claw, the fly claw, or the fly hand, however you want to say it. I like that. Unique story where it becomes a revenge movie. I kind of like that. But I think what it is with this movie is that it's just a lot more of a slower paced film. I mean, it takes probably about 30 to 40 minutes to get to the fly creature. And this is only an hour and 20 minutes long, so, you know, it takes a minute to get to the fly creature in this film. And so the movie is really slow. It has a very slow pace, and I think that's probably one of the big problems of the movie. Very, very slow pacing of this movie. It does take quite a while to get to the fly creature. Once again, also in this movie, it's not very scary. There's not really any scary or horrifying scene, which I get it's an older movie, but it really wasn't even trying to go for scary stuff most of the time. So there's not really a lot of scary stuff in this movie, besides maybe the fly, you know, creature. But besides that, there's not really any it's not really trying to be a horror film, or it's not really scary. There's not really a lot of scary scenes or, you know, scenes that are, you know, horrifying. But then again, like I said, it's probably just because just, you know, older movie. But to get into anything else with my problems, I just think it's one of those things where it's hard to make a sequel to the first movie because it follows a lot of the same beats as the first Fly movie. Because, like, once again, you have somebody getting into the teleporter. Once again, this fly and him fuse. Once again, you have a little fly creature with a human head saying, "Help me, help me." You know, even the mutation is the same, where it's the hand and the head and the foot. I mean, the ending is very different, but you also have Vincent Price in there trying to help investigate what's going on and try to find Felipe. Like he was in the first movie, he was investigating things and trying to help out. So it follows a lot of the same beats as the first movie. But like I said, overall, I'm going to give it probably a 6.5 out of 10. Maybe a 7 being generous. I do enjoy the movie. I like the movie. I just don't think it's as good as the first film. So I'm going to give it probably a 6.5 out of 10 or 7 being generous. 6 out of 10, 6.5 out of 10 or a 7, you know, around there. I still enjoy the movie. Good acting. Cool effects. Still a pretty cool movie. But yeah, Return of the Fly. Definitely check it out. Very curious movie. Very interesting film. I do recommend it. It is still a good movie. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching my quick review of Return of the Fly. Hope you guys enjoyed. Just not much else to say. It's a very simple, simple, straightforward, to the point kind of movie, and I still liked it. I still enjoyed it. But anyways, guys, if you've seen Return of the Fly, definitely let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments below in this film. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good evening, and Horror Boys out. Explorer 4 is out. See you guys later. Bye. Peace.